I am back. It has been several days. I made my embed stuff on Monday, and then Tuesday was super uber busy when it would have been good to work with. And then Wednesday, I didn't feel well. Tuesday, I wrapped this in there because I was so busy. Put this inside here to keep it from drying out. So I'm going to work with it now. Now, I made orange, green, and a reddish color. Start with the pumpkins. Now the pumpkins have two parts to them. They have the part where the orange is, and then they have the leaf part and the little trindle part. So some green will come into this. And I'll have to work this like I do Play-Doh to get it malleable. And I need about 8 pumpkins. Or more like 8.5, but I think I can get away with 8. It's pumpkin apple spice scented. I have scented the embeds just like the soap would be. When I make embeds, there are sometimes I don't use this, like with the hearts. I use my hands as the major tool. But with this one, there's some details that I need to get that my hands just quite aren't small enough for. So I'll have to use a special little tool that is recycled from something else. Remember, I need 8 of these. Now I'm going to make a log so I can divide them out. Pumpkins are come in different sizes. Sometimes they're elongated. Sometimes they're not. And I need about 8 of these. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if I need more, want a nice sized pumpkin. I might have to trim them off when I put them next to each other. Now you could easily use some tools that you can find for Sculpey or polymer clay products. They have a bunch of tools where you can sculpt with, or sculpting tools itself for clay, for regular clay could be used. You can also, use the clay tools for the soaping hand molding. And you can find that at craft stores like AC Moore, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I've never gone to a Hobby Lobby. We don't have one in my area. What I've come up with after having worked with several of them, it is better to make the hole in the top last so that you don't have to redo it. And I'm measuring like one here, one on one side and on the other, and then I'm dividing it in 2 so I have 6 grooves. And after I get the 6 grooves, I pinch to smooth it down, and then after I pinch to smooth down the edge, I go in and I smooth those down too after pinching, so that the humps aren't quite so poking out. So they're not quite, because I want to get a groove, but I want it to look smooth and not disjointed. I don't want the tool to make it look unnatural. So I know a pumpkin doesn't have that deep of grooves sometimes. Sometimes they do. But all the time the part between is more flattened out between the grooves. But they go in smooth. So that's what I'm trying to attain here. And if you need to go back in with your tool, then you do so if your groove is looking like you lost your groove. And then last, when you're ready and you've got it how you like it, and it's about as big as you need it, make sure it stays flat. Push in your tool, twisting. Gotta twist it so it don't come all out, and then twist this out. Go in a little circle there and come out, because when you put your top in for your stem and the green, you're going to have it on a point and have it going down inside of that. So this is what you want that to be like that for that reason. Okay, now onto the green. If your soap is not quite soft enough and it's just a little bit hard and you haven't let it dry out a lot, then go ahead and just keep working with it, pinching the areas that are hard lumps and just working with it like you do Play-Doh, because eventually it would become more malleable as you do that. And I have to make leaves and stems and little trindles for my design. I'm going to start with the stems. Get a chunk here. And I need about 10 because I've got 2 extra pumpkins. I only need 8 pumpkins. I made one itty bitty little one for the half piece on the end. It's for me. Roll this out just like you would if you were a kid playing with a Play-Doh making a snake. About the thickness of that round inside part. And then you want to cut them kind of short. Like that. Little. And take your finger and just roll it to a point on one end. What you're going to do is you're going to insert it into that hole right there. And then you're going to push down. Like so. Now if you want to, you can push on your wall of your pumpkin to close it back in. That's why you made a bigger hole to allow it to be coming out like that. Now what you want to do for the trindles, to get an even smaller amount, roll it on your palm if that helps. And fix it where needed. And put it here near the top like that. Push on one end. Bring it make it curve and curl. Until you get it where you like it. And should you get something on another part by accident from your hand and you dirty up just brush it off. Like that. And now we're going to make the leaves. What you do is you get a little bit of a ball after you've saved some for your stems for your apple. And you're probably going to have leftover like I did, and I'll just make green apples and mix some of the red with the green to make a brown. So you're going to want to make a heart-shaped leaf for the pumpkin. So I'm just going to try to press on it until it's about 1 inch. Keep it within your 1 inch and then kind of curve it a little bit. On the opposite side, you don't want to put it on your pumpkin right now. You just want to make it ready to go over top of the pumpkin when you're putting it in. You want it a little curved, pointy on the end, like so. Now on to the red of the apples. Okay, I need 16 apples. I've already made 8 of the leftover green apples. I saved some green right here for the stems on these apples, and I made some more. I made some brown by mixing up the red with the green, so these can have brown stems. So I want to divide this into 16 since I want 2 red apples on each. Okay. Divide it in half. And once more. Some of these might be bigger than the others. Roll them out roughly to size them. As I'm going to roll it into a kind of an oval ball. And I'm going to pinch towards the bottom part. And I'm not going to worry about making the bottom because I'm going to have them going up. So I'm going to take my little tool. It's got a point on it. And that's why I'm using this. It has a little point. But if you have a tool that has a point or some kind of object that you have that's got a point on it, that you can roll it around in a circle and then kind of press down like you would making the top of your apple. Just press gently and there you got your apple. It's really easy to make the apples. If you want to make them round, then make a round ball and try to just squish right in the center, keeping your round ball shape, and come down through the top, making your circle oval, and just gently press down like that into the center. Once again, re-getting your hole like that, and you have a round. Okay, now onto the stems. So what we're going to do is, especially if there's not wanting to stick inside, you might want to spray your top with some rubbing alcohol. Get a little bit of your color for the stem. Get a little point on it like that. And put it in. Now press on my apple just a little bit. Like that. For the green ones, basically the same thing. I'm having to work with this a little bit because it's been sitting there. I need to get 16 out of here. Roll to a point and then insert it into my apple. And these are sticking better because I made them sooner. Pushing this in just a little bit like that. Okay, here I have all my embeds made up, and I'm going to box them up until I'm ready to make my soap, which might be tomorrow or Sunday afternoon. I've got a really busy weekend. My church is having what we call Operation Inasmuch. It's a program to get the kids involved in church, and I'm going to be painting their faces tomorrow afternoon. All right, so I'm going to say bye now. So bye now.